This is Math 97, Quiz Topics 3, Identifying Direct Variation Equations. First, it's important that we know what direct variation is. Whenever we have a direct variation equation, that means that y is some multiple of x. If you are familiar with the slope-intercept form of a line, y equals mx plus b, a direct variation equation would look like a line with a y-intercept of 0. So this is what it looks like. Y equals kx, where the slope, k, is also called the constant of variation. And so we want to see if each of these examples fits this form or not. So we're to determine whether each equation shows direct variation. If it does, find the constant of variation, that's the k. So the first example, 5y equals 4x. We want to isolate y, and so let's divide both sides by 5. That would give us y equals 4/5 x. That certainly looks like our equation here, where we have y equals some multiple of x, and so we'd say this is an example of direct variation. And our constant of variation, k, is the same as the slope, and so that's k equals 4/5 in this case. Our second example, negative 2x plus 3y equals negative 5. So let's try to isolate y. Add the 2x to both sides. We have 3y equals 2x minus 5. And then we'd have to divide every term by 3 to get that y alone. So now I have y equals 2/3 x minus 5/3. This is definitely the equation of a line, but if you notice, this line has a y-intercept of negative 5/3 rather than a y-intercept of 0 that is required for direct variation. So this example is not direct variation. Okay, our final example is 8x plus 2y equals 0. Again, we want to isolate y. Let's subtract 8x from both sides. So 2y equals negative 8x. And so we divide both sides by 2. And we have y equals negative 4x. Again, that fits our example of direct variation. And so yes, this is direct variation. And we can find our constant of variation by looking at that number that's in front of the x. So the k is negative 4. Another way of thinking about the k is it's the ratio of y to x. And so if we put y over x, in this case divided both sides by x, we'd have negative 4. So k is another way of writing y over x, that ratio.